Hi guys, so let's talk about shoes for the body types today. I'm gonna leave the link down below on my body types series, body types test videos, so you would check. And also in Pinterest, I created that board, body types inspirational photos. Maybe that will inspire you style-wise and just give you some ideas. In his book, Kibbe is talking more about evening shoes, but we also have boots, flats, and sandals. So I was trying to find the pictures for you that will go under that description, show you different types of shoes. Okay, let's start. So dramatic, tall, lean, and angular, pretty straight in figure. Shoes are best when they are tailored and angular. High straight heels, crisp soles, and elegantly tapered toes. They don't look as good in delicate and antique styles or small symmetrical. It just looks like from a different girl, from a different body type. And also heavy chunky styles, just because their bone structure is sharper and not blunt and wide. So that will be too much for them. Let's go to softer version, soft dramatic. Also tall vertical line, heavier looking woman, and she has a figure, she has roundness. So shoes are best when they are tailored and angular, with tapered toe and heel. High and narrow heels are best. Bare styles are also excellent. They don't look as good in chunky styles because of the vibe itself. Also, if the shoes are overly delicate with excess trim, they can look too light for them and just won't fit the bone structure itself. Now let's go to the softest body type. It's romantic. Small, rounded, very feminine, and soft in flesh. So shoes are best when they're in delicate and feminine styles. Strappy, slender-heeled, with tapered or open toe. Lightweight and supple leather. If we talk about flat shoes, they're best when they're feminine with ornamentation. They don't look as good in tailored shoes, chunky, angular, and heavy styles. That will be too rough for their delicate body type. If we add some drama to romantic, we have theatrical romantic. Normally narrow hourglass, also soft and feminine with slightly thinner bones. They look best in delicate and feminine styles. Strappy pumps with opened backs and toes. Ornate trim is amazing. Feminine flats look amazing. They won't look as good in angular pumps. It doesn't go along with the ornate structure, the structure of the body itself. Also chunky styles. Too heavy, too rough. Now let's go to classics. Classics is a mixture of dramatic and romantic. She's moderate in everything. Moderate in size, in shape, in facial proportions. So for classics, slender pumps, sling backs, tapered toes, narrow heels, elegant leather, softly tailored flats. Good quality shoes, accurately made boots. They don't look as good in heavy and chunky styles, again for that same reason. They don't look as good in overly tailored styles, when something is very stiff that will cut the eye a little bit, too severe for them. They don't look as good in overly ornate and strappy styles with ornamentation. That can be too noisy for them, too jumping on the eyes. They look amazing in symmetry. Everything that is symmetrical and slightly held back with moderately made everything, that gives them that royalty. If we add some softness to classic, we got soft classic. Also moderate in everything, can be slightly wider and smaller and softer in flesh. Shoes are best when they have delicate and tapered shapes. Narrow heels and toes. Slightly bare, sling back, open toe, delicate and feminine flats. They don't look as good in angular styles. Chunky styles, they're much softer than that. Now let's go to dramatic classic. Dramatic classic is also moderate in everything. They can be slightly heavier in bones, slightly more angular or sharper. So for these ladies, shoes are best when they're angular. And David Kibbe says here, Italian style pumps. I googled that, trying to understand what he means by that, and this is what I found. So if you guys know what exactly he means by that, please let me know in the comments. I'm also very interested. They look amazing in tailored and narrow styles. Tailored flats, sleek sling backs, two-tone styles like Chanel spectators. They don't look as good in overly delicate and strappy styles. They are slightly more angular for that. They don't look as good in heavy and chunky styles. That's just not for classics. They lose that royalty. Now let's go to naturals. Naturals are normally moderate in size, sometimes narrow hips, larger shoulder area. They have some musculature and their bone structure is not angular and not rounded but blunt. For these ladies, shoes are best when they're in simple tailored styles. Low to moderate heel, that's what David is writing here. High heels should be very angular and straight, not tapered. Stacked heel, wedged, and all flats. Evening sandals should be very bare, not strappy. Tapered toe, open, plain, or closed. They don't look as good in overly delicate and strappy styles. You know, stripes, sometimes they are very delicate, can go over the leg, and sometimes when a woman looks stronger a little bit in the bone structure, a bit wider, those small stripes can play as a huge contrast between that, and she will look more angular than she is as a contrast. Of course, stripes can be different, but you can also check that by trying this or that shoes. Also, they don't look as good with ornamentation and trim. If we talk about soft naturals, they can be slightly smaller, still angular with blunt bones, but they can have some figure of flesh. They can be slightly more delicate in bones. Shoes are best when they're tapered in shape and slightly delicate in style, with little or no trim. An open toe, sling back, bare look is best. The shape may also be angular if the heel is very high and narrow, and the toe is very tapered. Feminine flats with little trim look amazing. They don't look as good in extremely angular, heavy styles. They are still pretty feminine and delicate. Flamboyant naturals. Naturals with some drama in them. Long vertical line with wider top. So they look amazing in the shoes that are tailored and angular, but have soft edges instead of sharp ones. Flats can be clean and simple, or man-tailored and slightly funky. Evening sandals are best when they are bare. They don't look as good in overly delicate, strappy and intricate shoes with trim, just because their bone structure is not as delicate, so that will be like from a different person. Now let's go to Gamine family. Teenage girl. Petite, slightly straight, slightly boyish with sharper bones. Shoes are best when they're tailored and angular, in lightweight leather. Unusual shapes in toes and heels are excellent. Asymmetrics, wedges, sharp points, as are bold colors and printed fabrics. Flats of all kinds are best when they're funky and fun, for example patterned, leather, trimmed. They don't look as good in plain pumps, can be too womanly for them. Also, they don't look as good in overly delicate and strappy shoes, the same reason, because they are slightly more angular in body. Now let's go to soft gamines, softer version of gamines, petite, small, rounded, taut and slightly angular, sometimes might feel like they are slightly chubby. They have very sharp and very rounded features in one body. So they look best in lightweight and delicate shoes with tapered toe and heel. Touches of intricate trim, bare and strappy are good, and also open toes and sling backs. Flats should be very feminine. Light and bright shades are excellent choices. It gives them freshness. They don't look as good in extremely angular styles. They look more like dolls. That's too heavy for them. They don't look as good in chunky styles. Can be too heavy for them. And also plain and symmetrical shapes. Can be like she's trying her mom's shoes. Last but not least, flamboyant gamine. Gamine with some drama. Slightly boyish with angular bone structure. A bit straight figure. So shoes are best when they are angular and irregular in shape. Slightly chunky in style. Low triangular heels or very straight high heels. Asymmetrical flats. Brightly colored or patterned styles for fun. They don't look as good in plain styles, delicate strappy shoes, and also with ornate trim. Slightly not for them. They need something stronger, like a different accent, different statement, slightly more chunkier. If you haven't found your body type yet, don't worry, we will talk more about this. We will see much more examples. We will go deeper into the subject. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in Patreon. Now I answer all the questions in there in Patreon, so I'm gonna leave the link down below. Bye!